Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. In this video, I want to complete the entire process when the user clicks on the Get Started button, comes over to the Sign Up tab, fills up the information correctly, clicks on the Sign Up button, and we want to bring the user into the main tab bar. And also we want to have a way to show that the user has already been logged in, okay? So over here, before we start, I want to show you something that I kind of left out in the previous video. So if you see with me over here, I have already registered Kelvin1@example.com. So I'm going to do the same over here, Kelvin1, and then I'm just going to pass in 12345 and 12345 as my password, and I'm going to click on the sign up button, and I'm getting this error message over here. It says password must be 6 characters long or more. Okay, let me just try to do a longer password. 1234567 Okay, this time I'm going to do 1234567 and then let me just click on the sign up button one more time, and you notice that the text is actually being truncated over here because we have more text in this message itself. So what I'd like to do is to come over to the main.storyboard, and I'm going to adjust the property for this label over here. So instead of having lines as 1, I'm going to set this as 0. So 0 basically means unlimited lines. So if let's say the error message is really long, it's going to show everything over here. And I think this is safer in that sense. Okay, so let me just rerun this one more time, and I'm going to input the same email address again, and to ensure that the label is taking care of this multi-line text. Okay, so let's come to the sign up tab, and let's do Kelvin1@gmail.com. all right, can I just double confirm this is the email? Oh, sorry, at example.com, at example.com, and then password will be 1234567 1234567, and I'm gonna click on the sign up button, and yep, so I'm able to print out the entire error message over here. Nothing is being truncated over here. Okay guys, so one thing I also want to implement is that I want to show some kind of loading screen when the user clicks on the sign up button, because we are setting this request to Firebase, and Firebase might take a while to respond to us. So we don't want to leave the UI hanging over there. So we want to show some kind of animation so that the user know that, hey, something is happening, we have to wait for something to happen. Okay, so let's implement it right now. So over here, let's come to login view controller. Over here in this login button tab, we already show something over here by implementing this MB progress HUD over here. So let's copy this over here. Let's put this here. And then when the callback returns to us, we want to hide this. So I believe we can just paste this inside here as well. Okay, so let's run this one more time, and let's ensure that this is working. Okay, all right guys, so you see over here, this is prompting me to put in a question mark. So what I can do is that I can just cut this and just bring this line below the gut statement over here. So instead of using self this time, I can just pass in this. Okay, so let me just remove that line and run the simulator one more time. Okay, so let's click on the Get Started button, go to the Sign Up tab, and let's go with Kelvin2@example.com. So let me just confirm that this email does not exist yet. Okay, password is going to be 1234567 I'm going to do the same for the password confirmation. Okay, I'm going to hit on the Sign Up button, and I should see some kind of animation over here. Okay, and the animation will end when the callback is being returned to us, and of course we get this successful user creation as well. Okay guys, so over here you notice that when this is a successful login, we show the main tab bar. So over here, if this is a successful registration, we want to bring the user to the main tab bar controller as well. So I'm going to copy this line again, and I'm just going to paste this over here. Okay, so guys, I think it's a bit sketchy over here because what we are doing is that we're just checking whether an error exists. Okay, but we also want to ensure that the user is being created. So I'm going to do something like that. If let UID or rather user ID equals to result.user.uid. Alright guys, so this is just my preference to ensure that we are really ensuring that the user ID is being created, because if Firebase returns to us a user ID, that is a sign that a user has been created. Okay, so when this happens, we can be more certain that the process is correct. Okay, then when this is happening, if we can get a user ID over here, then I'm going to replace the self with this. I'm going to show the main tab bar controller instead. Okay, so what I can do is that I'm going to print again. Maybe I'm just going to put this over here. I'm going to show user ID. I'm going to say user ID created. Okay, something like that. And okay, so I'm going to run this app right now. So what is going to happen is that once I can register a user successfully, it will show the it will hide the animation, and it should pop me into the main tab bar controller itself. Okay, so let's see if this is working. So let me just run the app right now. Okay, get started, sign up. So now I have Kelvin. Let me just refresh this. Kelvin 2, let's have Kelvin 3. So Kelvin 3 at example.com. Password will be 12345678. 12345678. Okay, I'm going to click the sign up button, and I should see the animation, and it should stop, and I should be brought to the main tab bar itself. All right, it looks pretty cool, right? But how can we be sure that we are really logged in? Okay, so that's the question that we want to solve. So what I can do is that I can actually put a label over here to print out the current user's email address. That way I can be very sure that the user is really logged in. So let's come over here to the main .storyboard, and we want to go to the let's see, we want to go to the home view controller itself. And currently this is blank, so let's maybe just add in a label over here. And I'm just going to put this in the middle. Okay, it's not going to be very fancy. So I'm just going to add some padding onto the sides. So maybe 24 and 24. Okay, I'm going to just make this a bit smaller so you can see. Okay, so 24, 24 on each side. And then maybe the height, I'm going to give it a 24 as well. Okay, so I'm going to add these 3 constraints over here, and it's still going to complain because it's still red in color. What I need to do is to center this vertically. So let's center this vertically in container. So guys, when you click on these buttons, just make sure that your label is being selected. Okay, so I'm going to hit the add 1 constraint over here. So now the red line should go away, and I want to change this font over here to my favorite font, which is Avenir Nix. Okay, and maybe let's have it font size 18. And let's make this maybe medium. Let's click on the done button, and I want to just align this to the center. Okay, so this should be the user email. Okay, so what I like to do is I'm going to add this outlet, this IB outlet, into the home view controller. So I'm going to click on this home view controller over here, and I will just create the IB outlet just like that. IB outlet with var. I'm going to do email label of type UI label exclamation mark. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the storyboard, and then what I can do is that I can click on this home view controller over here, right click on this, and then you should see the email label over here, and I can just connect the outlets like that. Okay, so now that okay, so I'm gonna go back to the code again, home view controller. So once I am in this view controller itself, I want to show the user email on the email label. What can the user email on the email label. So what I can do is I can just maybe create setup views over here, just a method, private func setup views, and I want to be able to access the current user from Firebase. Okay, so what can I do to do this? I need to import Firebase auth. And then let's come to our favorite Google again, and I'll just type in get current user, get Firebase user iOS Swift. Okay, I kind of know what the syntax is, but I think it's better for us to just see the official document over here. Let's see if I can find it. All right, user ID. Okay guys, it's not really here, but I kind of know what the syntax is. So I'm going to copy this thing over here. So this will be called let user equals to auth.auth.current user. Okay, so notice that this is a question mark over here. So this means that this is an optional, which means that there can be a possibility that there is no current user. Okay, and when the current user is nil, it means that user is not logged in. Okay, so I will have access to the email over here. Again, this is a question mark over here. So what I want to do is, maybe I'm going to do it this way instead. If let email equals to the current user's email, then I want to print this out in the email label. Okay, so I'm going to do dot text equals to email. Okay, else I'm going to just print out something is terribly wrong. Okay, but this will be unlikely to happen if we handle the logging in and the signing up process correctly. Okay, so I'm just going to click on the play button one more time to run the simulator. Okay, so now I'm going to register another user again. So let's come to this part over here and refresh this. Alright guys, I know I'm creating many users, but you know, in development this is probably what you have to do as well. So we are going to create Kelvin for instead. Okay, so let's come in here, come into sign up user, and let's go with Kelvin for at example.com, password 12345678. Okay, same thing for the confirmation. Okay, I'm going to click on the sign up button, and then I'll be brought to the home screen, and notice that I have the email that's being printed over here, so I can be very sure that I am logged in with this email over here. Alright guys, I hope you get something out of this. I will walk you through with the rest of the steps in the next video because I don't want to make this video too long. I'll see you guys in the next one.